when I decided to pivot my career. It was a long time coming. I really knew that someday I needed to pivot into a more creative field.
It's interesting that you say it was a long time coming. So when did you start feeling like you needed to pivot?
Well, I hate to say, even early on in my career, I just knew that it wasn't like a perfect fit for me. I think with my personality, I'm always trying to create things and change things, that just very early on, I found myself getting kind of bored in my career. So I moved around a lot. I was tired of my job. So then I chose another, moving from home health to acute care and to skilled care and to outpatient orthopedics. Every time I got bored, I moved into a new place where I learned more. And that probably helped me get where I am today by picking up all these different tools and strategies. I guess I didn't really know what to do, but just to keep going, because my career was also helping support the family. That's probably why I kept moving on. I enjoyed the healing profession, but yet a lot of it left me kind of high and dry. I didn't feel satisfied. I didn't feel like I was using like my talents and doing the personal development for myself. So yeah, I did feel very burned out. And all along the way, I kind of blamed myself in a way, because I kept thinking, okay, Teresa, you don't have the personality for this. You're an introvert and you're an analyzer. And as productivity got more important along the way in our profession, because anybody who started 36 years ago, we knew back then productivity wasn't our first thing we thought about in our job. But now it is becoming very, very important in our job. So that was one thing. I don't want to shed a super negative light on it. I know therapy is a good fit for many people. I do think we're under a lot of pressure right now. And I see some of the new therapists coming out into the field being extremely overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of productivity standards. And if you're just getting into it, a lot of times you have to cut your conversation short with patients because you've got to move on. But I think people are trying to remedy this in our profession. It's not that we're totally ignoring it. It's just that there's a lot of standards right now we have to meet as a health profession.
And can you extrapolate on that a little bit in terms of the changes that you have seen in the field of physical therapy?
Yes, we're under a lot of pressure right now with the productivity. A lot of our documentation is done while we're working with the patient. So sometimes you have to write your note as you're working with them. So you have to divide your attention, where I think in the past we didn't document until maybe say like over lunch or at the end of the day. And now it's when we're seeing the patient. So that can be a little stressful. And sometimes your work is based on units that you've gotten done during the day or the time you spent with the patient. And that's always in the back of your mind. Am I being productive? I know some of the new grads, as a new grad, you're still learning a lot. And then when you have to go under these productivity standards, it can make it really tough. And I think that just leads to burnout with a lot of therapists.
Because you're constantly under a tremendous amount of stress to get through this encounter, finish your documentation, and go to your next patient.
Yes, yes.
For us, by us, and just for us, this is Hope for Med.